Okay. I can go quickly on this. And you know what? I'll play double on that. I'll go quickly when I'm in office, okay? Because I think this is, everything I'm going to tell you we'll do between January 20th of 2025 when I take over and the end of March of 2025. We've got this mapped out. First, end any dime of foreign aid going to Central America or to Mexico, and require instead that each of those countries builds a border wall all the way along their own borders as well. 75% of the people coming from Mexico aren't actually from Mexico. They're from south of there. So if you do that from Venezuela all the way to the southern border of Texas, that helps the flow. Next step, not just building the wall. I will, as commander-in-chief, move our own military to our own southern border and our northern border too. Militarize the border. I can do that without asking Congress for permission or for forgiveness. There's some other details. We'll use aquatic barriers, but I won't go into that now. Next, best border policies of all. End the incentives to be here illegally. Number one, stop using our federal taxpayer money to fund sanctuary cities to break the rule of law. That ends on my watch on day one. Next thing, this is a big one. This is where they duped Trump. They said you couldn't do this. You can if you understand the Constitution. End birthright citizenship for the kids of illegals in this country. It does not apply to them. And then by the end of 2025, so everything I just told you we're done by March 2025. That border crisis is sealed. What do you do with the millions who are already here? We will return them to their country of origin without exception. That has to be the right answer for this country. The hard part has been historically, they say there's only 6,000 ICE agents, Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents. Turns out, if you understand the law, it's existing law, ICE can delegate its warrant service power to local law enforcement. There's 1 million of them. If the president understands that and directs ICE to do it, under the law, he's not wishing that to be the law, that's the law. If a president with a spy really instructs ICE to do it, now you actually have 1 million people rather than just 6,000. And the country that put a man on the moon can do this. You know, I think that this is an easier technical challenge to overcome. With that, by the end of 2025, this border crisis is behind us, the invasion is behind us, and I would call it an invasion. This is happening on the western border or the eastern border of the United States with a bunch of Chinese from the west coast or a bunch of Africans from the east coast. We'd call that an invasion. It's no different when it's on our southern border. It's an invasion of our own border. It goes to our security and existence as a nation. Not only clear plan, but more importantly, I think what we're missing is the spine and the knowledge of the Constitution to see this through, and I will. And if we do, and I'll close on this, guys, is if we do, we don't have to be this nation in decline anymore. We don't have to be at the end of this ancient Roman Empire, as we're taught to believe. I think the truth is what George Washington would say. From George Washington to Thomas Jefferson to Thomas Paine, what they would say, I think if they were alive today, is that we're really just a little young right now. I think that's what they would see in our country. That we have another 250 years yet left to go, but it's our job to step up and revive what they gave us.